Okay, YouTube, we're 1 second ahead of podcast, but here we go. Okay, folks, here we go. Leaders into Legends podcast slash Journey to Journaling YouTube video combined. So I'm pretty stoked. The next evolution of my creations, I suppose, is here. Today I have a really good one for the podcast peeps. Just to get a quick heads up, what we're doing here today is for the last 17 days, I've been choosing a journal prompt in the morning and then sharing it on YouTube. So I'll choose the prompt, I'll write my actual reflection in my journal, and then I'll share it on YouTube. I'll actually share my personal reflection just to give some guidance for those who are new to journaling or those who want to develop a practice or those who want to deepen their practice. Today, the reason that I'm choosing to share this reflection on podcast as well is because I just posted a story to my Instagram, and it just felt really, really strong. It felt like a really powerful share. It felt really inspiring to me, and I just was like, I'm feeling really energized. I want to share this like right now. So all in the last hour, all this is happening, and it feels amazing. So we're just gonna dive right in. As always, the Journey to Journaling peeps on YouTube that are watching, physical journal is ideal. Pen or pencil, quiet place. All those things are present. I hope they are for you too. For you podcast peeps, if you haven't checked out the Journey to Journaling YouTube series, it's really, really cool, and you can find it on YouTube at Graham Lickner. As far as today is concerned, what has each phase of my life taught me, and why is it relevant? In my teens, I learned that everything we call life was created by someone no smarter than me. This opened me up to the reality that I could do anything, I mean anything, I set my mind to. I distinctly remember reading the Steve Jobs biography, which is probably the first book I actually read out of high school, that I was genuinely like, I want to read this. And I just remember a line that he said. He said that at a speech, I forget what college it was. He said, look around. Everything that we call life, everything that's been created, was created by someone no smarter than you. And when he said that, I really took it for face value. I really believed it. And I remember there were times like in college where I was like, I can be a billionaire. Like I know I can do that. I can do any of these things. These things just take time, patience, hard work, consistency, vision, drive, imagination, all the things that I have, probably all the things you have. And that's always stuck with me. And it's relevant because the same imagination that I had when I was 17, 18 years old, the same person that believed it was possible, I still believe it's possible. In fact, I know it's inevitable. I know I am inevitable. In my early 20s, I discovered that chasing money would only ever take me as far as stressed and hollow pleasures were concerned. My heart and purpose would be sacrificed for its gain. This helped me summon the courage to pursue my own path. In my early 20s, I experienced by far the most stressful seasons of my life, wearing the most masks, being the most fake, being the furthest from my path that I've ever been. And I would say that was due to a lot of severe emotional pain that I was going through, but just didn't know how to process. And so instead, I chose drugs, I chose selling weed, I chose activities in the shadows, I chose overcompensating for my insecurity by putting in more effort and, quote, winning more, working more. And I sold Cutco knives. I had a landscaping business. Every single thing I did was money driven. And the only thing I cared about was, by the time I'm 30, I want to be a millionaire. And it's going to happen before then. And I drove myself into a place where I was so detached from who I was and so far from who I was, I felt condemned. I felt condemned to a life of honestly hell. A life of the rest of my life is going to be stressful, and me lying to everyone in my life about who I am and what I do. It's going to be me fidgeting around between different drugs and different ways that I can change who I am to alter my state, because that gave me some sort of, I don't know, maybe I'm free there, but there was nothing there. There were women that I was not really into, that I felt like I was hurting because they liked me and I didn't like them as much, and I was in a way using them, and it led to me just having to me feeling like I was grinding my soul down. Like I was slowly sucking it away, like I was allowing it to just seep from who I was. And what I was left with was a hollow person. And that was really challenging. But understanding that, and this is when my dad passed away, it just like watching him fight and be so so loving towards me and just open towards me, and towards the end of his life, it just gave me the courage to like quit, to stop, to say no, and to give myself permission to pursue a path that I had no idea where it would lead me, but I knew it felt really good and it felt like me, and that changed my life. And that early 20s was by far the most pivotal chapter of my life, and it feels really good to reflect on it. Yeah, this helped me summon the courage to pursue my own path. In my mid-20s, I discovered that liking my business isn't the same as loving it, and a few degrees off could eventually lead me far from me. I again found the courage to let go and dive deeper. In my mid-20s, I had crushed a fitness business model that I knew I could scale to the moon. It was working. I was having a lot of success out of college with it. I knew that if I just stayed in great shape and connected with tons of people and built my social media presence, that I would be really successful in it. But I hosted this retreat in 2018 with 20 people. And at the retreat, I just felt such a deep-rooted connection to these people and felt like there was so much more for me within myself that I could give others. And I just can't say no to that. So as it revealed itself to me that like this is more of who I am and where I want to go with my life, I decided that I had to let go of the fitness business for something deeper and something that was going to help my clients more and help the world more. So I started my Body Spirit Coaching, and that led to Leaders into Legends, which was the coaching program that where I trained coaches and taught them how to actually be really strong, emotional, mental, physical, spiritual coaches, and also teach them the business side and help them actually like work with clients and have success. And through both of those phases of my career, I felt really, really good about them. But as I got closer towards seeing what the future would hold, I realized that it was 90%, but not 100. There were things I could see playing out that were just going to lead me back to this very stressful state of needing to figure all these things out and feeling like I wasn't as free to pursue and learn and grow as I wanted to be. And again, I had to find the courage to let go and dive deeper. And what that looks like to me in my mind is this visual of me just like having everything that I thought I wanted, realizing at some point that there's so much more that I really do want, and then just letting it all go. Like imagine building the most beautiful house you could ever imagine. That's your dream home, and then realizing after you've lived in it for like a year, you're like, wow, this isn't what I want to be anymore. There's something else to me, and I need to find it, I need to discover it. And that's where I let go again. In my late 20s, I discovered all of the experiences I've been through have prepared me to connect and serve anyone on the planet. With love in my heart and God guiding my movements, I have so much faith that more amazing things are coming to me. And this was the last like couple years of my life, is just understanding that what I've been building are skills and experiences and the emotional awareness and range to work with anyone on the planet and help them heal, help them expand, help them grow, help them love again. Yeah, really, help them love again. That's it. Yeah, help people love again. Love their life, love their family, love their friends, love their parents, love their work, love the people in their life. It's amazing. Makes me a little emotional, honestly. It's just so good to hear from myself. This was relevant because for a long time I questioned, like, why do I have to keep deepening? Like, why do I have to keep doing this? Like, I have things that are working. Why am I pushing myself out of something that works, that I know is a sure thing, for something that still has so many question marks? And in this last few years, I've realized that the feeling that I get when I know I'm in front of someone that has never received the help they really desired because there wasn't someone that they could really help them or that they trusted enough to do it, it makes me realize that every single one of these experiences that I've had has helped me to become a strong enough person to build enough trust with them to show them that I can, and that I'm there for them, and that I care, and that they can be that way for themselves too. And so stepping into that tension of I'm pivoting again in my business, pivoting again, finding a new person I want to work with, finding more freedom for me in the work, continues to lead me to a place where right now I can actually just share this right off the cuff. And this is my day. I have 3 sessions today with clients. I'm very excited for them. but I feel so free to pursue and grow and expand and create within that. And it just feels freaking amazing. And now at 30, I am ready to share who I am and what I've discovered. I've changed myself, and now I'm ready to change the world. It took patience, practice, persistence in order to reach prosperity. The perpetual state of receiving. This is abundance. Whew. And this is relevant to me because this is where I'm at right now. This is why I'm doing YouTube. This is why I'm on my podcast like a fiend. This is why I'm connecting with people all over the place as much as I can, because I feel like I have done what I needed to do in this last 5-year, 6-year, 7-year span of me learning, going all the way to the deepest depths and the trenches within my spirit, opening up my mind in all possible ways, honing my physical energy as much as I possibly can, and now being in a place where I feel like I can share that with supreme confidence. And supreme confidence is just that my concerns about other people's perceptions of me is just irrelevant. I'm not fazed by that. That's not important to me. I'm focused. I know my goals. I know my vision. I'm driven. I'm ambitious. I'm guided. I feel intuitively led. I feel an extremely close connection to God. I don't feel I have to answer to any humans. I feel like I want to connect with humans, but I don't feel like that programming in my mind is limiting me. I don't feel limited is what I'm saying. I feel free and I feel boundless. I feel infinite. And that feels just, I don't know how to explain how that feels other than it's possible. Yeah. And that's abundance to me. And this is relevant because I feel really blessed that the pace of my life has led me to a place where I was able to experience so many things in the last 12, 13, 14 years of me, I would say, being more aware of myself. I don't think I really was until I got to, I wouldn't say really until I was 17 and I got to college and I realized that everything that I thought I wasn't anymore. And that that identity shattering of who I was forced me to question that. And I think that's where my journey began. So it's been about 13 years. And I feel 13 years later, I know where I'm going, I know what I'm doing, I know why I'm doing it, I know who I am, and I feel confident in that, and I feel excited and ready to serve, and I just feel like I am being ushered to the absolute surface level of our culture right now, and that makes sense because I'm bringing the depth and expansion and wisdom of everything that I've learned to the epicenter of culture, and that's where I need to meet the people who are ready for me and who need me the most. So it just feels fantastic, and the Journey to Journaling series is a part of that. I mean, I can't tell you how many successful men that I work with that have never journaled before, and it absolutely blows my mind. Imagine what they would do if they knew how to write. Imagine what they would write for themselves, the story they would create, the characters that they would find themselves in, the imagination that would run rampant, the freedom that they would bring to the world. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. And at the core, I wanted to share, this is what Leaders of Legends is about. It's about finding your music and playing it for the world. Trusting, growing, experiencing, and creating a life you love. This has been my journey. What is yours? What is your journey? I want to hear it. I want to learn it. Again, the prompt today. What has each phase of my life taught me and why is it relevant? And you don't have to break it down into 20s, 30s, whatever. You can break it down into however you choose, whatever you feel like the stages have been. But for me, I wanted to share this just because of how passionate I am about my life and how excited I am for the things that are coming and how ready I am for you all to see me and who I am and learn about me, because what you're going to find is that I'm going to help you. That's what I do. I help people. I help people see more clearly. I help people feel more presently, and I help people create whatever they want. And I do it with love, compassion, excitement, and joy in my heart. I don't know how to say genuinely. I just enjoy it. It's fun for me. I would do this anyway. I get paid to do it, but I would do it anyway. So I wanted to share this today. This is my journey to journaling. This is the podcast today. I don't really even have a name for it. I'll have to come up with one, but I just feel really strong and connected. And if you're listening to this podcast, I recommend actually going and watching on YouTube a little too, just so you can see me. Because I look really, I don't know how I look, but I feel like I look really present. And it feels just phenomenal. So I'm wishing you the absolute best today. And my insight is this: for those of you who, it's interesting, like each one of these seasons, so to speak, has a completely different like theme. Like this first one is me understanding that I have power. That's what that is all about. That's what understanding that everything in life that I see was created by someone no smarter than me, is just taking my power back. Like I can create things too. So if you're at that phase in your life, then the next phase is possibly, in my 20s, I discovered that chasing money would only ever take me stressed and hollow. Then maybe the next phase is, once you realize you have power, understanding where you're channeling it. Like, where am I channeling this? Is this channeled in a direction that's actually going to be sustainable or good for me? This third season is understanding that, and this is what I think is where I meet a lot of men on my journey recently who are coming to Leaders and Legends to learn and grow and expand, is they like their life, but they don't love it. They like it, but they don't love it. They like a lot of the things, but they don't love it. They like themselves, but they don't love themselves. Let that sink in. I like me, but I don't love me. I don't love me because there are things about me that I want to learn more. There are things I want to do. There are things I want to say, but I'm just not letting myself do it for whatever reason. And that's where a lot of the men that I work with, that's where our journey begins. They've done a lot of this. They know they have the power. They're learning that money isn't going to buy them what they want. They need to find a new path forward. They need to pursue something that's more meaningful to them, that gives them more connection with themselves and feels like they're giving back at the same time. If that's you, then we should talk. In my late 20s, I discovered that all these experiences have allowed me to serve the world at a really, really high level. Like that's what it's preparing me for. And I feel like I have some people in my community, some students and some men that I work with, that are at the level now where they're realizing through the work we've done that their real gift to the world is who they are and what they have learned about themselves, and the emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual awareness that they possess, that they can influence and help other people along their journey as well. And I think that's really beautiful. And I see a lot of men that are stepping into that stage of life, and it's just really beautiful. That's a king right there, right? And this final one is like somewhere between a king and a sage. It's just this understanding that who I am is so connected and so profound and so inspirational and so powerful, yet simultaneously so humble and so patient and so peaceful, that I have changed myself and I can change the world, and I am changing the world every single interaction, every moment, every second. And that's, to me, that's like supreme power. It's really cool. And there's so many phases. It's so exciting, and I'm excited to hear you do it too. So I really, really recommend taking the time to do this today. This is a much longer journey to journaling, so I apologize, I guess, I don't apologize, but I didn't really know how this would go. So I think it was cool. I think this is a cool crossover, and man, I could go on and on about this, but I think that I shared my points, and I recommend re-listening to some of this stuff because it's really powerful. And for you men who are listening and who like yourselves but don't love yourselves, like your life, don't love your life, like your business, don't love your business, you can change it, and you should. You should, because you know where it's leading you. You're also, if you started something, you know that you have to look about where it's going, and you know where it's going. It's just a matter of you realizing that you're going to have to deconstruct some things in order to build some things back up. It's not as bad as it sounds. My friends, Journey to Journaling, Leaders and Legends Podcast. We out here. Presence, peace, and power be with all of you. I really appreciate you riding with me. Those of you on YouTube, as always, feel free to share your reflection in the comments. I'm still waiting for the first person to do it. 17 days in and I have yet, but that's okay. I'm holding out. I know someone's going to be like, you know what? I'm just going to send it. This is sweet. Anyway, love all of you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you listening to me, more of my story and who I am. And I genuinely look forward to meeting you over the course of my life. Let's just find a way. Peace, peace. YouTube, I appreciate you. You rock. We out here.